Yo, how many of y'all caught those Jordan packs when they was coming out? Shit like this. It's that one's package. Shout out to TTK. He gave me that box for a little living room accessory and shit. I didn't have the one package. For me, being that I'm biased and I don't wear certain number Jordans and shit like that, I didn't buy a lot of those packs. And when I did participate, it was pretty much for me personally to get one shoe. Like, the numbers had to add up to 23, so the 4 came with a 19. There's no way on planet Earth I was wearing that Jordan 19. I gave that shit away just to get the 4. What if Nike gave us classic packs? And what I mean by a classic pack, imagine for the 30th anniversary of the Air Max 95 next year. Not only do we get the big bubble, but we get a pack, a 95 pack. Can you imagine the red 95s and the orange 95s being in the pack together? Pluto, that thing is out of here. People is buying that ASAP. Or pair up the neon with another color. A 95 pack will be crazy. The pack, me personally, I would like to see is a Hirachi trainer pack. Give me the white, purple, and green with the green suede or the black and gray. I'm cool with however they want to finagle that package. I'll take that. Um, Basketball, you know, that might be a little rough because those packages are gonna have to be expensive, especially if you pair up like the Silver Dunkin with something. You can't go Silver Dunkin with a foam. That pack would be outrageous in price. But hey, even a Dunkin with a fucking black and blue bacon, that'd be cool too. However they want to pair it up, but done the right way. That's key to this. Why do you think sneakers are flopping? What is a flop, honestly? Do you consider it a flop if it doesn't sell out the same day? Or is it a flop because nobody just buys it and they're still sitting on shelves at sneaker stores? What do you call a flop? Because a lot of sneakers don't flop, they just don't sell out right away. There is a difference. But they're calling a lot of things flops and saying it's declining because it's not reselling. Yo, that's where you know this shit took a left turn when back in the day, even early 2000s, some shit was hot and most shit was hot and didn't sell right out. That didn't mean it was whack or it was a decline. Yeah, maybe for the resellers when you're talking resell language. But nowadays, everybody feel as though if it doesn't sell out right away, they don't want it or it's doing bad. That's not the case. Me personally, I like to be able to go in the store and still get something that I already bought. Maybe I fucked it up. I might have went out and wore it in the wrong setting. That's the thing too. 90s, early 2000s, you wear that new shit in the club and it get fucked up, you'd be happy that the sneaker didn't sell out because it's like, all right, fuck it, I'm going back to cop another one. We didn't have Jason Mark. We didn't have whatever his name is, Reshuvenator. We didn't have none of that shit back then. You had to clean that shit yourself with a toothbrush and shit like that. And if it didn't come out to your liking, fuck it. You went and doubled up and got another pair. Or either you wore the pair so much that you was just like, fuck it, let me go get another pair. These shits is beat. I like being able to do shit like that. The sneaker world should not be defined by a shoe selling out right away. Does it add to it? Hell yeah. That's a good thing. If you could get your shit to sell out and it be hype like that, that's an excellent thing. But it shouldn't be fully defined by that. Um Another reason I feel like it's not how it was, we're not getting the right shoes, all of the right shoes, or we might get the right shoe, but it's not done the right way, or it's not the right color. Or, time is progress. Time is progressing. So a sneaker that was big to us in 96, or let's say 94, 95, the kids of today might not appreciate it just as much because now they're trying to cater to shit in their childhood, which 9 times out of 10 is a retro also, but it might have just been a new color. You feel me? Like the Flint nines and shit like that. The kids love those. For me, it's like, give me the olive nines and I'm good. I don't need all of those new colored nines and shit like that. But to other kids that's younger, that's their thing. They appreciate that. So you gotta respect that. Another thing, the quality. Air Force One did their thing with color of the month, but then we was just stuck with like certain pairs only just being gum bottom. If the sneaker was fully made with that quality level, I would buy way more Air Force Ones. To be totally honest with you, you know what I mean. Depending on the color, it's been a lot of whack colors too. But overall, certain sneakers that people have an issue with is because of the quality. But I had got a question in the DM from somebody, and he was like, "Yo, did you have you ever been in the basement of a mom and pop store?" And I was like, hell yeah. He was like, yo, I would like to hear the story on that and like the journey or some shit like that. So one store in particular that I would go to when the mom and pop was still thriving but dying down, it wasn't as many as it was, and people were hunting for old sneakers, was a store in Patterson called Athleisure Foot. Yo, Athleisure Foot had a ton of shit. Shout out to homeboy that used to work at Athleisure Foot that still work on the same block in another store. He remembers me from back then. Yo, that shit was crazy. I didn't even have to go in the basement there or in the back. I would just tell him like after I went there the first time, and let me rephrase that. After I went there the first time looking for old shit, because I would always go in there, I would look at certain shit. Then one day I went to the case and it was a lot of leftover like Nike and Adidas sweatshirts. They had the Run DMC shit in there. So in my mind, I'm not thinking like, yo, I should get this shit and sell it. It was solely on I want to wear this shit. So what I did is I hit somebody on the Nextel on the chirp that could fit it. And I took him there and he bought the Run DMC shit. Crazy. So I just started saying, yo, what you got in 11 and a half, 12? And they would bring up everything, yo. I got all types of Air Trainer XLs, Air Max 95s, prized possession that I got from there, though. Hirachis, the Laker color, the white, purple, and yellow OG shits back then, brand new. $40 he gave me them Hirachis for. 40. Yo, I wore them shits to the car show on Easter one year. Yo, people lost their mind. I wore them to the mall. We was in Neiman Marcus. I remember a nigga on the escalator looking at my sneaker like, yo. He was like telling this man's like, how the fuck did he get those? I mean, this is years before retro came out. This was every bit of shit. I want to say 99, some shit like that. But yeah. Matter of fact, yeah, it was like 99 2000. But there, over here in my town, I would grab shit. Newark, I went to one store and I was able to get all types of block letter starter hats, yo. I don't know what happened to them hats. All for $5. All the crazy shits too, because that was my childhood. So I just was like, let me get St. John's, let me get Notre Dame. They didn't have UNLV. I had Hoyas, Georgia Tech. I had a bunch of them shits mixed in with other hats. It was crazy, crazy. So yeah, that mom and pop era, like the ending of it, being able to hunt for shit, they was giving that shit away, man. I wish I would have took it more serious. Shout out to those that was ahead of their time, man, and was really hunting that shit down, wearing it, reselling it, buying it used off of people. Like niggas is telling me about stories how they'll see an old man in the North Face and be like, yo, are you willing to sell it? And he'd be like, man, I had this coat for 15, 20 years. Yeah, I'll sell it. And they'll sell it for shorts. Now you running around with some shit that your peers don't got, or you flip it on the internet on one of them forums and shit like that. because that's what was going on during them times of eBay and shit like that. Now, man, good luck if you find some good shit in your size like that. It's hard. You got to put the work in. It's not as easy as it was. They got that store in Baltimore where people are going there and they're getting certain shit, but you don't get your size all the time. I definitely cop some shit from them. Prices is reasonable, and if you go on the Instagram and you don't see it, he definitely has other shit that he will send you pictures of, especially if you shot with him before. So yeah, shout out to them. That's definitely a good spot right here to get some shit from. Um, I don't know, man. That shit is just in a weird space now because it's just like I said, people is hunting down trash just for the sake of it being vintage. But as the time progresses, man, you gotta do innovative shit. Shout out my nigga T Mark. Like T Mark is adding something to the game right now. He's finding first run retros and getting them shits fixed and putting them on the pavement. That's the key thing in this shit that I'm saying right now. He's putting them on the pavement. A lot of niggas is buying sneakers and they're not wearing them. All right, call yourself a collector, but when you talking amongst motherfuckers that wear they shit and they outside with it, you are not a factor if you're not putting them sneakers on the pavement. And I'm not throwing shots at people that got mad shit, but they work mad hours so they can't wear it. But sometimes take time out to wear that shit around the house and go outside to the store. Y'all remember it be times we have so much shit stacked up. Some days we wear something half the day, changing and wear something else later on. That's fact. Sometimes even three pair of sneakers in one day, depending on what's going on outside.